We got back from North Dakota in the middle of the night, but we were glad to get back. And it looks like they had a little bit of a snowstorm up there after we left. I was glad we were able to go up there and play a game in North Dakota for Grant, but we didn't play very good. Obviously, we didn't do a very good job on Eagle staff, so defensively we've got to get a lot better, especially with the way the SEC looks this year. So, that was our main focus. And video cleanup yesterday and practice today, I thought we were significantly better on defense, but can you do it every day, even if it's not after giving up 40 to a particular score? So, we're going to challenge our guys defensively until we can get the defense figured out. We need everybody to step up, and that's kind of been the theme the last couple of days around here. So, looking forward to Kent State. I've known Coach Cinderoff since I was a high school coach. They recruit Detroit quite a bit. Matter of fact, one of my players played for him. My 4 years as a head coach at Buffalo, the one year we didn't go to the NCAA tournament because Kent State beat us in the MAC, and they went to the NCAA tournament that year. And tournament MVP was one of my kids that played for me at Romulus, Jalen Walker. So I've got a lot of history with Coach Cinderoff. I think he's a really good coach. He does a great job. Their teams play hard. I think they've got the best net, KenPom record of any teams in the MAC right now, and the MAC's a pretty good league. So, they're going to be a better team than North Dakota. We do get them at home, and hopefully our guys are a little more in tune with what we need to do defensively. So, I think Kent State's, I think this is Coach Cinderoff's 14th year, and I think the first 13 years they beat 13, high major teams. So they're averaging, an upset against a high major team every year. They haven't had one this year, I don't believe. So we're going to have to do our best to make sure that we're ready to go, because they will be ready to go, and they play hard. And they have talent, they play hard. They're a really good mid-major team. So, but we're looking forward to it. We need to have a good game before we go into Christmas. After that game Sunday, we'll give our guys 3 days off till we come back and practice the night of the 26th, and then get ready to play against that South Dakota State team that scores it pretty well too. So both these next two games, our defense needs to be significantly better than what it was up in North Dakota. So.
Talked about the defense, but what can you learn from a narrow win on the road like that at North Dakota?
It was one of those games where you easily could have folded. I mean, it's tied up with 2 minutes to go. And I think that our guys showed some character and some grit to be able to make the plays they needed to make on both ends of the floor. We had some tough buckets. I thought, it wasn't the last 2 minutes, but they tied us twice. I think the first time was about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game, and Houston gets an old board put back to put us back up. And then they tie it again, and then we were able to convert a couple tough buckets, get some stops, make some free throws. So, it was good for some of the young guys to be in a tight game on the road in a pretty hostile environment. Thought the environment, the arena up there, I thought it was great. They were loud. They were on it. So at least we got some experience playing a road game. We got to win, because the Purdue game, they were pretty good up there too, and we didn't. Obviously Purdue's got a little bit more talent than North Dakota, but I didn't think we handled, the end of the game and kind of the crowd and being on the road all that well there. So this is the second time we had it, and I thought we handled a lot better. But the next time we're on the road is going to be an SEC game, and it's going to be a lot better, and there's going to be a lot more at stake. So we're going to have to continue to get a lot better.
I know you have data that tracks this, but just from what you've seen, what have been some of the better lineup combinations that you've seen now that you've gotten all 11 guys back and have been playing in the last couple of games?
Yeah, we actually, and I mean, it's whether you look at 2-person lineup analysis, 3-person, 4-person, 5-person. I know that the 4-person lineup analysis with Mark LeBaron, Grant, and Cliff is really high on both sides of the ball. I also know that Jaron Stevenson, who had been putting in the starting lineup, has got a really high defensive leverage himself. He hasn't shot the ball through the course of the season like he's capable of. These last few games he has, at one point he was 7 of 9 from 3 over the course of a couple games. So, he's been up there on the defensive side, but we've got to figure out. I don't know exactly what the best 5-person lineup for any kind of, we don't have a ton of reps. We've kind of different guys have been in, Darian, Jaron. Whether we go with the guards, we had Reitzel in there for a while. He's out for the year. Houston doesn't have very many reps in there, so the sample sizes on some of those 5-person lineups isn't huge. But I do know that the 4-person lineups pretty strong on both sides of the ball. So we got to continue to get those 4 guys playing harder, better, but kind of figure out who maybe that 5th guy in there. Is it going to be CY? Jaron, Darian, and you know what? We may not end up starting our 5 best guys, but can we get the best 5-man lineup in the game together enough, particularly in the second half when it's kind of coming down to winning time. So, but yeah, we've got all that data. We'll probably take a hard look at it right after all the non-conference games are done, but we take a peek at it and kind of get some feedback from our analytics company that we use a little bit too.
Yeah, the question about the defense, I think it fell to 57th in efficiency after that game. Obviously, not near as where it fell to last year, but how do you kind of just essentially cut it off before it maybe gets to the point it did last year by the end of the regular season?
Yeah, I think we got to go back to some defensive fundamentals, every day rather than just doing the scouting report. Obviously, you got to do a scouting report, but there's certain things that you just have to have. And if you're not focused on them in practice or drilling them, they start to go away a little bit. So that was what we did today. I mean, just the beginning of practice, and probably just going to have to continue to do it. We're just working on some of the fundamentals, closeouts, staying in front of the ball, ball pressure, tracing it. Some of those threes we gave up, guys just weren't into the ball. They just let them kind of high them up and shoot it. So I think our guys have to realize, how hard you have to play against these good players and good teams in order to be any good on defense. And I think our second year here, when we finished 3rd in the country in defensive efficiency, I do believe we were 55th, either at the beginning of December or middle of December. So we've been in a similar spot before and finished top 3. That's our goal. We've got a lot of work to do to get there. It's going to take a ton, but we got to get back to some of the fundamentals. We got to have some guys with a sense of urgency on that end of the floor, and I got to start to play the guys that do have that sense of urgency. And we got to cut the rotation down a little bit anyway. It's just some guys that don't want to guard just aren't going to play very much anymore.
He's certainly not sneaking up on anybody as a preseason All-American, but in the 3rd year with Mark Sears here, how have you seen his game continue to evolve, especially from an offensive standpoint late in games?
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to get fouled. He knows how to get to the free throw line. He makes big free throws offensively. He's hit big shots for us, late in games. He also makes pretty good reads. I think if you look at his numbers since we went to Vegas, that they're really good. I mean, it's averaging, I believe, almost 5 assists and 21 points or whatever it is. And I think he's been really good. I think the biggest jump overall this year has just been his defense. It's been significantly better. Now we need the team defense needs to come along because his individual defense has gotten a lot better. But, late in games, you trust him with the ball in his hands. He's going to make free throws. He's going to convert at the rim. He's going to make good reads. So he's come a long way since we got here. He's pretty good when he got here, but he's continued to improve each of his 3 seasons here.
What kind of a rebounder can Chris Youngblood be? And when you want to go with 4 guards on the floor, is he kind of automatic because he's a bigger, stronger presence as a guard?
I would think, we've got to get him healthy. You can tell he's still not all there, but big, strong. He should be able to rebound. And I do think we can go 4 guards and have him be one of the guards. Maybe we don't do it a ton, but we could do it. Last year we played 4 guards, and our 4th guard was Rylan, who's not, nearly as thick and physical as what Chris is. Now, Rylan was probably a couple inches taller, so that makes a little bit difference. But, I think we can do it. But for right now, we're really just trying to get him healthy. And until he's healthy and you can kind of tell he's not quite moving as well as maybe he had when he's 100%. I think we got to keep some bigger guys around him to kind of help cover some defensive, I don't want to call them mistakes, but he's moving. But, maybe he can guard the 4 a little bit too. He's big and strong, and maybe there's less blow by chance when he's at the 4. So that's definitely an option. It would help us offensively probably, but that's an option for sure.
Kent State is 11th in the country in points per game, or points allowed per game. Just what have you seen from them defensively, and what could be a key to putting more points on the board?
Yeah, they're super aggressive. They turn people over, which is going to be a problem because we've had an issue with turnovers, particularly first half of that last game. So, they play super physical. They put a lot of pressure on your guards. They blitz ball screens decent amount, and they kind of do it with just playing super hard, tough, physical, aggressive. So we're going to have to handle the physicality of it. We're going to have to be able to not turn the ball over. So those are going to be the big points. But yeah, they're a good team. I mean, we scheduled them for a reason. We like to play quality teams. This has a chance to, be a decent, whether it ends up being quad 2, quad 3 game. I think it's got a chance to be a good game for us. And it's a game where if we don't play well, they're certainly capable of beating us because they've done it plenty of times since Rob's been there. And these guys expect to play well against us. And like you said, their scoring defense is really good. They hold teams down. And we like to score the ball, so this will be a battle. Can we get it going? Can we take care of the ball? Can we get some transition buckets? Well, we'll see if hopefully we can get out in transition, not turn the ball over against these guys.
Kind of going back to the lineups thing, and I know you said you're continuing to kind of tinker with the 11-man rotation, but I was just curious kind of what went into the decision to go with Darion and Jaron and kind of leave LeBaron on the bench against North Dakota, and if that's a look that you maybe liked or not something you
that wasn't a basketball decision. That was an off-the-court minor deal where he's just got to clean some stuff up. So there was no basketball X and O decision on that one.